Hello YouTube, welcome to the first of my lectures for the Greek language. Whenever we start to learn a language, first of all we have to learn the alphabet of that language for us to be able to read and write words, phrases, etc. The Greek alphabet looks like the alphabet which has the English language. But there are some few different letters. In this lecture, I'm gonna cover the whole alphabet of the Greek language. Every single letter. The Greek alphabet consists of vowels and resonants. The vowels are 7 and the resonants are 17. Now we're gonna see the first letter of the Greek language, which is the letter alpha. As we say Aristotelis, Aristotle. Over here, in this word and in the other words which we are gonna see, I'm gonna write the word as it is written in Greek language with Greek letters. Still we don't understand, but it doesn't matter. I just write for educational purposes. But here I write the word in Greek language with Latin letters. Somebody would write the word like this, Aristotelis. That means Aristotle, the famous philosopher of ancient Greek. Another word is Apollonas. In English, Apollo, the famous god of masculinity and beauty, and of the war, obviously. One of the 12 gods of ancient Greece. Another word that starts with this letter is the word Alexandros, Alexander, or Alex. A lot of names in England and in Europe generally, they are Alex. Some for men and some for women. But over here we have this word which is only male word. This is only for males. Is a singular male word. The same as Apollonas and Aristotelis. All of the three words are masculine and singular. For the letter alpha, you have to think that is a letter as we pronounce A, like art. This part, A, and is the letter alpha. It is pronounced A. Now let's suppose that we have a notebook Let's suppose that we have a notebook with lines, with a lot of lines to write letters. Uh, we write the letter alpha all above this line. The first is the capital letter. We write it like this, exactly as we write the English letter A. We write it like this. And the small letter exactly as we write the English one, as we write the A, like this. I forgot to mention to you that the letter alpha is a novel, obviously, as the letter A in English. And sometimes the Greek novels accept a tiny symbol on them, which in Greek we call tonos. Let's say tone. For instance, like this. It is this symbol over here. Sometimes we used to say that the capital letters do not accept the symbol like this, the capital novels, only the small novels, and only on the novels we put this mark. I'm gonna make a special lecture about the intonation of Greek letters. I have just decided to mention about this and how do we write this symbol. For instance, let's say that we have the letter A like this. We just put this straight line like this. Just a straight line like this. Now we will learn the second letter of the Greek alphabet, the letter Vita. Sometimes this can be confused with the English letter B because at least the capital letter looks like the letter B in English, but it's not the letter B. It is pronounced like V, like vaso, the vase. As we say the English words vital or vessel, and I will write it again. The capital letter Vita, it is written exactly as the capital letter B, like this. But the small letter, it is different. We write it like this. The next letter is the letter gamma. For instance, uh, from this letter starts the word yaya. That means grandma. It is pronounced yaya like this. Somebody would have written like this, but it's not yaya. is ya ya with the intonation of the second ya over here. This letter you can carve in your mind, such as the word wow or the word what, or much better, the word yes. So it is pronounced mm, mm, with the neck. The capital gamma, it is written like this above the line. It looks like this hung. Imagine that there is a hang over here. So it looks like this hung. Whereas the small uh, letter gamma, it is written half above the line and half below the line, like this. And looks like a sack. Imagine that this is a sack with money, for instance, or a treasure, and that is a small letter gamma. The following letter is the letter delta. A Greek word that starts with this letter is the word Damastino, that means plum. The letter delta, pronounced with a teeth, as we say this or that. The capital delta is a triangle. I had better draw now a black line, and now I will write the delta, the capital. As we said, it looks like a triangle, whereas the small delta, it is written like this. The following letter is the letter Epsilon. A Greek word that starts with this letter is the word elaphe, that means deer, and we pronounce this epsilon e, like egg, or example. The capital letter epsilon, it is written like this, exactly as the English letter E. exactly like the English letter E, whereas the small letter epsilon, it is written like this. The opposite of 3. Next one is the letter Zeta, a Greek word that starts with this letter is the word zoe, that means life. It can be as a name, like this, Zoe. So whenever it is a name, this zeta is capital. Whereas whenever we speak about our life, we write the word Zoe with small zeta, like this. You will have in your mind that the letter zeta is pronounced z, like zoo. The capital Zeta, it is written exactly like the uh, letter Z, the English one. It is exactly the same. Capital Z letter, the Greek Zeta. Whereas the small zeta we write like this. Again, this part is below the line, whereas the rest is above. Next one is eta. One Greek word that starts with this letter is ήλιος, the sun. Another word is Heracles, the hero. Heracles from the Greek mythology. Heracles. This letter is pronounced E, like Easter. The capital letter Eta we write as the English letter H, exactly with the same way. But I have to mention that this letter is a vowel. It's not like H. And the small eta is written like the English letter N. But again, eta is a vowel, is not resonant. Next is the letter theta. As we say thalassa, it means sea, or Thomas, the Greek word for Thomas. And as can you realize, it is pronounced with a T, like thanks. The capital letter is written like this. Let's say a huge zero with the line in the middle. And the small one, it is exactly the same. We just write it smaller. Next one is the letter iota. With this letter start the words Italia, that means Italy, the country, and iodio, iodine. The iota is pronounced I, like Iraq, the country. The capital iota we write as the capital letter I, just a big straight line. If you want, you can put this, but we don't use to do this. The small iota looks like uh, the stick that the old people have to be able to be stable at the streets, upside down, like this. The following letter is kappa, such as kapetanos, means captain, a Greek word that starts with this letter, the kappa, and as well Constantinos, Constantine, there is a name. The kappa is pronounced k, like K, like capital. It is written exactly the capital kappa as the capital K in English, like this. And exactly with the same way we write the small kappa but smaller, like this. Next letter is lambda. A word that starts with this letter is Yakava, that means the sunshine, or the name Laura. It is pronounced L, like lamb. This letter is written like this. As we write the letter alpha, but without the line in the middle, or the letter delta without the line below, like this, the capital letter. If we put a line over here, it's gonna be the alpha. Whereas if we put a line over here, it's gonna be the letter delta. The small we write like this. The small lambda, excuse me. After comes the letter mi, like mama, mommy, or Marcos, Mark. It is pronounced like money. The capital M, it is written exactly like the English letter, the capital English letter M. Exactly the same. Whereas the small letter we write like this. A straight line over here, and we attach which is a little bit below the straight line, and let's say that we attach the English letter U like this, or I can write it quite better. That's much better. The following letter is the number Ni, like nonos, that means godfather, or noris, that means early. It is pronounced like nasty. The capital letter, it is written exactly like the English N, the capital one, like this. Exactly like the capital letter N, whereas the small letter N is written as the English letter V, like this. Next letter is the letter Xi, like Xana, that means again, or Xenos, that means foreigner. It is pronounced X, like taxi, this X. Actually, I didn't find any English let English word that starts with this X. That is why I put this word over here. I just don't know the capital letter Xi. It is written like three parallel lines. Maybe we can write the first one over here bigger, the middle one a little bit smaller at the edges, and the last one over here, this, or Let's write it quite better, like this. It's the same, whereas the small xi is written like this. Next one is the letter Omicron. A word that starts with this letter is the word Omiros, Homer, the famous writer of Iliad and Odyssey, or Omos. It means but. The Omicron is pronounced O, like the letter O, on. We write Omicron exactly as we write the letter O, like this, the capital letter, and the other small Omicron, a smaller one. Next is the letter P, like papyrus, in English papyrus. With this letter starts my name, Pantelis. P, like present. We write the capital P like this, and the small p, we write it like this. After is the letter Rho, Rhapsodia, Rhapsody, Romi, Rome. Actually, in ancient Greek, Romi used to mean power or strength. The letter Rho is pronounced R, like river. This letter, it is written the capital one as the English letter P, like this, but it's not P. We just have mentioned the Greek P letter. This is the letter Rho, the Greek one, and the small one, we write it over here. The, let's say, the circle um, above the line, and the rest of the line below the straight line. Next letter is the letter sigma. The first is the capital, and the other two are the small letters. we use this sigma when there is at the start of any Greek word or in the middle of any word, and we use this sigma only at the end of any Greek word. For instance, stamatis, this we write the sigma because this is a name, stamatis, we write it with capital sigma because it is a name. The following word is masao, that means I masticate. By the way, over here I can mention something to you. In English language, whenever we express a verb, we just used to say the infinitive without to. For instance, masticate. In Greek language, we used to say a verb at the first person because the suffix, it is different if in the rest of the persons. So we don't need to put I in front. I will make another better lecture for you to be able to understand the Greek verbs and how we say in different persons. Just this right now. We don't need to say εγώ masao because masao fits only for the first person, fits only for me. Whereas in English we used to say I masticate, you masticate, he masticates, etc. In Greek we used to say masa or masas, masai. So every single verb is different in different persons. That is why we don't need to put the I, you, he, etc. in front. So we don't say εγώ masao, we just say masao. That means I masticate. Masas means you masticate. Masai means he masticates, or she masticates, or it masticates. And masa me means we masticate. Masate means you masticate, but in plural. No, when we say you, this time it is for a lot of people, not, we don't respond only to one person. Masate and masane or masan is for the third plural. They masticate. And by the way, we see that this sigma is in the middle of the word masao. That is why we write like this. Whereas stamatis, this sigma, is at the end of the word. That is why we write it like this. So we have this sigma, and it is pronounced s, like the English S, like stamp. Another word that I will mention to you is the word stratos. That means army. Again, you see in front there is this sigma that we put either in front of any Greek word or in the middle of any Greek word, like this, whereas this sigma, the final sigma, we call it final, τελικό sigma in Greek, we put the τελικό sigma at the end of a word. So the capital sigma, it is written like this. The middle sigma, let's say the sigma that we put in the middle of any word, we write like this. It's like an O, and we put a straight line over here, parallel with the line of this, the black one. And whereas the τελικό sigma, the final sigma, we write as we write the English S, like this. Next one is the letter TAF, like treno, that means train, or the name Tassos. The letter TAF is pronounced T, like top. We write the capital TAF like this. Whereas we write the small TAF like this. Sometimes it can be confused with the French letter R, but it's not R, it's TAF, and is pronounced T. Next letter is the letter Epsilon. It is pronounced E. We have mentioned before other two E, iota and eta, but we use the special E in different words. So we need to learn orthography to put the appropriate E at the appropriate words. With this E, the epsilon, starts the word υγεία, that means health. Sometimes the word υγεία can be used as cheers or στην υγεία σας. That means to your health. In plural. Or στην υγεία σου, whenever we respond to a single person. To your health, but to a single person. Whereas στην υγεία σας, either whenever we want to be polite and we use it for a single person but we use plural, or whenever we wish cheers to a lot of people and we say στην υγεία σας, cheers. Υγεία means health. Another word that starts with the letter Epsilon is υγρό. That means liquid. The letter Epsilon is pronounced E, as we said before, like the word is. The letter Epsilon is written like this. The capital one, we write it like this. It looks like this maybe fork or something, or that thing that there is a gun that we put over here and we have this and we throw stones. In Greek language it is called sphendon. I don't know at the moment what is in English language. And the small epsilon we used to write like this. I like a lot of times to make this graphs, but yes, or you can write more simply like this. Now we're gonna learn the letter phi. A Greek word that starts with this letter is the word fantasia. That means fantasy. And another word is phos. That means light. It is pronounced f like forest. And we write it the capital letter like this. We draw a balloon or a ball at the air and a vertical line like this. Whereas the small phi we write like this. Or sometimes you can write also like this, the small one. But I prefer the first. After comes the he. It looks like the letter X, but it's not. X is he and is pronounced. With this letter starts the word himonas. That means winter, or the word χαλάρωση. That means relaxation. It is pronounced, as we say, the Loch Ness Monster. Actually, yes, I didn't find any English word with this uh, pronunciation, only this word. So as we say Loch Ness Monster, the Irish, I think, you have to remember this Loch Ness Monster to be able to pronounce the letter H. So it is pronounced the letter H. It is written exactly as the letter X, the capital one, but is not X, is H. So about the small one, some people used to write it like this, the small one, and some people used to write it like this, just as it is the capital, just smaller. I think it's up to you. Next letter is the letter Psi. A word that starts with this letter is psomi, that means bread, and another word is psari, that means fish. A singular one, a single fish means psari. The plural fish, we call them psaria. The letter psi is pronounced ps, ps, like maps, maybe. This part over here, maps, and is written the capital one like this, like this instrument that the ancient god of Greece, Poseidon, used to have, the god of sea, and the small one, we write it like this, straight line. And last one is the letter omega. This is pronounced O. There is another O in the Greek alphabet, the Omicron, but this is omega. Again, we have to learn appropriate orthography to be able to distinguish where do we have to use Omicron and where do we have to use this one, the omega. A Greek word that starts with this letter is Orea. Orea means fine as an adjective in plural, third person, fine, Orea. or Aurea as well. We can use it as the word pretty, um, a female woman, a singular. Like this woman is pretty, we can say she is Aurea as well, but only in singular form. Another word that starts with this letter is ora, that means time. And of course, omega is pronounced O, such as off. We write the letter omega like this. Maybe it is the most difficult letter of the Greek language to be able to write it. We write it like this. At least the capital one. But some people used to write it like this as well. They just put an O at the sky and over here a line like this. You can write it like this as well. Every Greek is gonna understand what you're going to write. This is the capital. Both of these are capitals, capital letters, excuse me. And the small one, we write it like this. I had better write better like this. I would like to thank you for your attention, and I would be glad if you can like this video if this video was quite helpful for you. I think that it would be helpful. Comment any questions or some impressions that you may have. Please subscribe to my channel, and as well you can visit my website www.learngreekonline.tk. Hope to see you soon.